I first want to address the comments regarding Stockton having a serial killer. That's what's been messaged. That's the big question that we keep being asked. By definition, these shootings are a series of killings, and so we do believe we could have potential serial killer. That's how we're going to treat it as such.
Hey guys, welcome back to True Crime with Shannon, where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. But before we get into today's video topic, I always like to feature a missing person on the channel. So let me pull up today's missing persons poster. Today's missing person is going to be Jennifer Lynn Harper. Her last contact was on August 24th of this year. It looks like she was last seen in Culver City, California, and is also known to be around the Van Nuys, Woodland Hills area. Her mother is devastated that she is missing. So these are some photos of her, and they're asking if you know anything about her disappearance. Looks like they're showing off her tattoos here as well. If you have any information on Jennifer, please contact April Harper at 714-220-8538. Again, if you have any information on Jennifer Harper, please contact her mother, April Harper. And that information is right there. And again, there's some photos of her distinct tattoos and some photos of her as well. So if you have any information, especially if you are in that area, please be on the lookout for this young lady. Okay, so today I'm going to be discussing the Stockton serial killer, also known as the California serial killer. I believe most of you probably have heard about this by now, but it's possible you don't know too much about it. So this ABC affiliate does have a good breakdown of the timeline, and then I'm going to go into further detail on the case that I've compiled some information during my deep diving here. Authorities in Northern California are searching for an apparent serial killer tied to 6 fatal shootings. No motive is known, Stockton Police said, but the slayings appeared to be intentional and are linked by ballistic evidence. The gunman is on a, quote, mission to kill, Stockton Police Chief Joe McFadden told ABC News GMA3 on Thursday. The suspect could have easily taken vehicles, taken money, credit cards, but none of that stuff has been taken, he said. It seems that this person or persons is very focused on the unalivings and very calm and confident afterwards. So they are not robbing or anything. They're just going out and attacking people. All the victims were alone, police said, and the killings happened at night or in the early morning. What we seem to have in common is probably complexion. It has been folks that are different races, but they have a similar complexion, the chief continued. The location, the environments have been consistent. It's very dark locations. It's locations where there are not many witnesses around. It's also locations that there are not many cameras around. So basically, he's trying to remain in the dark and unseen. This is a person that lurks in the shadows, McFadden added. Our victims are being caught by surprise. Here is how the crimes unfolded. Okay, so here is the breakdown of each crime. It actually started in 2021. So we're going back to April 10th of 2021. At 4:18 a.m. on April 10th, 2021, a 40-year-old man was shot and unalived in Oakland, California. Stockton Police announced on Monday that this unaliving has been linked to the spree. All the other attacks were in Stockton. April 16th, 2021. Days later, on April 16th, 2021, at 3:20 a.m., a 46-year-old woman was shot in Stockton and survived her injuries, police said. She told officers she was in her tent and heard someone approaching. She then came out to find someone holding a gun, police said. Multiple shots were fired, but the shooter didn't say anything, she told police. This shooting has also been linked to this crime spree, police added. Then we jump to July 8th of 2022, and we will discuss this gap, this large gap, in his spree, his or their spree. More than 1 year went by. Then on July 8th at 12:31 a.m., a 35-year-old man, Paul Yaw, was fatally shot in Stockton, police said. Yaw was a good boy who grew up into a good man with a big heart, his family said in a statement to ABC News. He was a son, brother, father, grandson, nephew, and cousin. And there's a picture of him right there. August 11th, 2022. Weeks later, on August 11th at 9:49 p.m., a 43-year-old man, Salvador DeBuddy Jr., was shot and killed, police said. Then we go to August 30th of this year. The next victim was 21-year-old Jonathan Hernandez Rodriguez, who was fatally shot at 6:41 a.m. on August 30th in Stockton. And we go to September 21st of this year. A 52-year-old man, Juan Cruz, was fatally shot in Stockton at 4:27 a.m. on September 21st, according to police. September 27th, 2022, the final victim was 54-year-old Lawrence Lopez Sr., who was fatally shot at 1:53 a.m. on September 27th, according to police. Lopez was a musician who leaves behind 6 children. Jerry Lopez, his brother, told ABC News. It's mind-blowing that these deaths are supposedly connected, Jerry Lopez said. And that is a picture of him right there, of Lopez, the victim, the last victim we know of at this point. And then we go to September 30th, 2022. On September 30th, Stockton Police announced they believe the 5 2022 homicides were linked, adding that they met the definition of a serial killer. Police released this image of a man who is considered a person of interest. Now, there is also a video. I'm going to show that as well. But this is the image. And yeah, granted, it's not very helpful, to be honest with you. He's wearing all dark colors and he looks like he's got a hoodie up. So, but the video is definitely much better. October 3rd, 2022. On October 3rd, police said they believe the 2 2021 shootings, one fatal and one non-fatal, were also linked. Okay, this is the point when they linked all of these attacks to one person or persons. October 4th, 2022. On October 4th, Stockton Police released a short video of a person of interest. And here is their video. Let me play that for you. Get full screen. Can't get this one full screen, so I'll replay it later as well. So let's. Now, if you look, he's got a slight limp or something with his gait. So let it play one more time. Play it one more time. See, watch his gait. And I have some theories on that, as well as do some of the officers, but something's with his gait. That's for sure. It's not a normal straight walk whatsoever. McFadden said it's unclear if the person of interest in the video is a suspect or a witness, but it's an individual that we have seen at more than one scene. Police ask anyone with information to call the Stockton Crime Stoppers at 209-946-0600. Okay, so that gets you up to date with what's going on. And then I'm going to go through some details here. And I'm also going to show that video that the police released in a larger context so you guys can see it more in detail. But that is either our suspect or person of interest at this point in this case. The California serial killer. So these are some points and some thoughts that I've come up with as I've deep dived into this case. The crimes occur after dark in areas with few security cameras. So they've kind of caught him on camera, but as you can see from this photo and the video I previously showed, and I'm going to show again, you're not getting much information about this suspect. You're seeing just a gentleman walking along, and he's wearing all black, and you can't see his face or anything. So it's dimly lit, completely dark, and cameras, if anything, there's nothing barely there. So he seems to know where the spots are that he can basically hide and do this crime. Okay, they're not a robbery. Nothing is being stolen. So he's basically just going after these people. He's attacking them. He's not stealing from them. He's not doing anything else. He just goes, and it seems like his only thing that he wants to do is he wants to unalive these people. That's his only goal. At this point, we have 6 men fatally shot, and 1 woman who was shot last year survived. Now, this woman is completely brave. I've listened to her talk, and she basically just decided to go right after this shooter. So she heard him inside of her tent. She's a homeless person, and she came out and saw a man with a gun, and she decided to just advance toward him, and that apparently scared him off, and he took off. So, good for her. She's the only one at this point who survived this criminal. He seems to be on a mission. Police have no idea of the motive. Okay, so police have no idea why this person or persons is committing this crime. And at this point, they just think he's got some kind of mission. And I have theories that he's going after homeless people most of all, and he's also going after a lot of Hispanics. So he's got something against the homeless, and he's got something against Hispanics. Now that is interesting because he could be homeless himself, and he could also be Hispanic himself, because nobody has any idea of his race. So is he basically attacking these people because he sees himself in these people, or is there something more to it? So there's something there, though. I believe that for sure. And shootings occurred starting in April 2021, and the first case was this summer, which we just talked about in the timeline, that last year in April, the first shooting occurred, and that was a fatal shooting, and then the woman was shot, and then he took over 400 days off. Police have no idea why there was this large gap in the attacks. POI, the person of interest being sought, is that they appear on video at several crime scenes. So again, he's appeared on video, but this video that we've seen and this photo from the video, that is about as much as we're getting. So we're not getting any real details of this suspect whatsoever. So let me pull up the next one here. So the victims. So we did discuss them briefly here, but I got some more information here as well. The first victim was Juan Vasquez Serrano, 39 years old. He was attacked in Oakland around 4:15 a.m. on April 20th, and he was shot multiple times. And of course, that was sadly fatal. 46-year-old woman was inside her tent on April 16th, 2021, when she heard someone outside her tent walking around. So she exited her tent. She encountered someone holding a gun. Multiple shots wounded her, but she was able to defend herself by advancing toward him. And she also further stated he never said a word. He just went after her, and I guess when she approached him, he just took off. Stockton victims are Paul Ya, 35, who died July 8th, Salvador DeBuddy Jr., 43, who died August 11th, Jonathan Hernandez Rodriguez, 21, who died August 30th, Juan Cruz, 52, who died September 21st, and Lawrence Lopez Sr., 54, who died September 27th. Now, 4 of the Stockton victims were walking alone, and the 5th was in a parked car. So these people were all by themselves, and they were very secluded. But beyond that, that's pretty much the information. So it seems to be like, again, that he attacks when somebody is alone and there's no other possible witnesses or anyone to see him. And none of these victims appear to have known one another. According to police, they have not found any common links between these victims whatsoever. So it just seems to be random. But again, it may be random in a certain race and type of person. So let's go on to the next one. My next slide. The shooter. The surviving woman described the attacker as wearing a dark-colored hooded sweatshirt with the hood pulled up, dark-colored pants, and an all-black COVID-style face mask. So again, he's completely covered in black, and all you can see is his eyes. And of course, in the dark, that's not much to go by whatsoever. Attacker is likely local or familiar with the Stockton area. So he probably knows this area, and we're going to also look at the map of see where all his attacks have been, and they seem to be pretty centralized in a certain zone. He may be homeless himself or have some issue with the homeless. So again, like I previously mentioned, since he seems to be attacking homeless people, he either is homeless himself or he's got some sort of an issue with the homeless. That seems to be possibly the case. He may have an ankle holster as his walk indicates that or some sort of injury. So as we've seen in the video, which again I'm going to play momentarily again, that he seems to walk, either he's had something on his ankle, and from what police have said, that when you have an ankle holster, you kind of have an uneven gait because that's a heavy item on your ankle. So either he's got that or there's some kind of injury that gives him this uneven gait or limp. Now, the POI may have been in jail or in rehab due to the lack of attacks for over a year. So again, we've had over 400 days between the 2021 attacks and the 2022 attacks. So was this gentleman or folks in jail or in rehab, or did he go somewhere else? He seems to have taken quite a long break. So that makes you wonder if he has been previously in jail. Seems to only attack victims who are alone, no one to witness it. Again, he attacks in the dark, so it's either late at night or early in the morning before the sun comes up, and he's attacking people where no one around so they can't see it. So there's no cameras, no witnesses. And another point is the homeless most likely may not own a cell phone, so that may also be another interesting tidbit that maybe that helps him with his anonymous identity. Targeting people who are vulnerable. Homeless may be the easy victims. So again, he seems to want to go for the people who are vulnerable. And who's most vulnerable on the street? That will be people who don't have a home. And sadly, that is the homeless. And the attacker seems to plan his attacks when it's dark and no cameras. So while he may seem to be attacking at what seems to be random, I don't think it's random either. I think he's got some sort of planning involved as well. So he's planning them, and he's planning that he's maybe watching these people. For all we know, he's staking them out. He's watching them for a couple days or a few days, gets their routine down, and knows when he can strike. So let me pull up the video of him so we can actually take a look at that. So this is the video that is actually posted on the Stockton Police Department Facebook page. And of course, it's been shared throughout all news outlets. But here is the video of the suspect, or the person of interest, rather, they are looking for. It's a much better video, larger for everyone to see. Play it again. So he's going to recycle. See, watch his gait. Watch his gait. Something is distinctive about that. If someone knows this person, they're going to recognize that that's how they walk. Play it one more time. There we go. So there's something very distinctive to me about the way this gentleman walks. Something is up with that leg or foot, or he's got some kind of ankle holster or something. All right, let me play it one more time in the larger screen here. Here, one more time. So watch him, full screen here. This reminds me of the BG video that Libby took for Delphi. Just one of those videos that there doesn't seem to be much there, but it's something you need to keep an eye on. You need to look at it. And the same thing. It's all about their gait and how they're walking. There's something distinctive there. All right, the gun. Now, police are not saying a lot, but what they're saying is also kind of interesting as well. And I think they don't have to say a lot to say a lot sometimes. Ellie is not saying it's the same gun, but are alluding to that. I don't know why they're not just saying it's the same gun, because ballistics are showing it is, but they're just kind of roundabouting on that one. But And again, this weapon went dormant for over 400 days. So from 2021 attacks to this summer when the attacks started again, that weapon sat there, and obviously, from what police can figure out, no attacks were done with this weapon. And it's likely a semi-automatic pistol, making it able to fire several rounds quickly. So considering he shoots his victims a number of times, this makes it easy. He doesn't have to reload. He doesn't have to take anything. He just is able to shoot, and be done. And then he gets out of there. So it's basically a very, very quick shoot him and get out of there. And that's an image right here of a semi-automatic pistol, for those that are not familiar with what one looks like. And actually, let me pull up more information about a semi-automatic. I'm learning about this as well. So basically, this is some of the breakdowns of a semi-automatic pistol. So obviously, it has a magazine, and it has the cartridges and the floor plate. And even if you don't know a lot about guns, which I don't, and I'm learning, and I'm actually going to be potentially going to a gun range soon to shoot, because I've never shot a gun. As much as I wanted to become a police officer, I've never shot a gun. So I really would like to learn more about the semi-automatic for sure, and learn some more information. And weirdly enough, or oddly enough, some of these gun ranges nearby, they let you shoot AR-15s, which that actually terrifies me. But I guess that's beside the point now. But all right, so you got the weapon, and it breaks it down. You got all these parts. You got the magazine well, where that goes right in there. You got the trigger, and of course there's the safety, the cocker, the hammer, and the sight. And really, from what I understand, once you learn to shoot a semi-automatic pistol, it's pretty simple. And like I said, you can just continuously shoot. You can just keep shooting. And that's, you don't have to reload like a lot of other weapons. So that's definitely good for him, and he wants to shoot and make sure he sadly unalives his victims and gets out of town. So semi-automatic's going to do it for him. And again, this is our possible suspect or person of interest. So watch that video, and this is the image. The image, to me, the image doesn't do much for me. I don't think that that's telling whatsoever. I mean, this could be anyone walking down the street, anyone in a dark colored clothes and a hoodie. I mean, but that video to me is the most important piece of information. And if they're wanting to, I think the police are going to be continuously studying that person's walk constantly. And if anybody watches that video and knows someone that walks like that, they're going to be like, oh, that's Joe. They're going to know, which is the same theory again. You go back to Delphi. They said whoever knows Bridge Guy, you're going to see the way he's walking. Sadly, we don't have as much video of him, but you're going to see that way that gentleman walks with his hands in his pocket. So there's something to their gait. I mean, if they're distinctive, and the person, once they match, they're going to match that gait. I mean, it's just going to come together once they are able to do that. As well as, of course, the weapon. The weapon is going to be also, of course, key in this, because no weapon is going to fire the same as far as the bullets. Now, this would be a side-by-side of a bullet, and they're all going to have certain ways it shoots through a gun. When a gun fires, it's going to have its own distinct, signature to it. So it's going to hit that, go out of that gun a certain way. So they're going to shoot that gun off in like a big tub. It's sort of a big tank, and they're going to be able to match it up with the bullet they found on a scene or inside of a suspect or what have you, and they're going to be able to see if that's the same bullet. Once they find out who this suspect is, and once they find him with a 9mm or some sort of semi-automatic pistol, they're going to be able to see his weapon go shoot that off in that tank, and they're going to be able to match it up to other bullets that they've taken from other crime scenes, and they're going to be able to say this is the same gun that shot these other victims. So that's going to be definitely a very big piece of evidence once they get this suspect in custody. And it's definitely interesting to me. I'm highly interested by the whole thing. And like I said, I was going to go out to the gun range this weekend, but I just didn't have time to go out there. Or I was going to go out to one of the gun shops and talk to them about semi-automatics and get some more information. But I will be doing that in the near future, because I'm interested for myself, and I know it's going to help me here on the channel. The only reason I didn't shoot a gun previously, because I almost went to a range a number of times, years and years ago was because when I wanted to become a police officer, I was told by some police officer friends and stuff that it's really, they say I shouldn't have gone to the range so that I don't learn something the wrong way. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, I've never been to the range as of yet, so that's definitely on, of course, my bucket list. But with this channel, I really do want to go out and shoot because I think it's going to give me a lot more knowledge, and I already have a huge respect for guns, obviously, but I think it's going to give me a lot more understanding and feeling, for a weapon. Okay, so this is a great piece I'm going to play a bit of from Inside Edition regarding the Stockton serial killer and an update on the reward now being $125,000.
Police in Stockton, California say they want to speak to this person about 5 killings in the city and 1 in nearby Oakland. Investigators released this surveillance video hoping someone will be able to identify a person of interest in this case. Police say the person was seen on surveillance video obtained during the investigation that matches the description given to them by a surviving victim from a shooting last year. The police chief says the person has an unusual walk.
I want you to pay close attention to the uneven stride that this person has. I like to think we all have a normal gait and walk about us when we walk around, but this person's posture is extremely upright and it's noticeable.
The chief says there is no evidence directly connecting the person to any of the killings, and they are just being sought for questioning. The department says 5 men have all been shot to death in Stockton between July 8th and September 27th. They were all ambushed late at night or early in the morning. Investigators say ballistic evidence links all of these cases together, but they don't know if there is one or multiple suspects. There is now a $125,000 reward being offered in this case. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the Stockton Police Department at 209-946-0600.
Okay, so that is a good piece from Inside Edition. And again, that number, if you have any information, is 209-946-0600. And a few other information. That entire break, it was over 400 days. That is broken down to 448-day break between the second and third victims. Then it went on to a 34-day break between victims. Then it went to 19 days and then just 6 days. So this suspect seems to be attacking quite in a smaller window now. So this is very vital that this guy is caught, or these folks are caught ASAP. Again, that law enforcement is not sure if it's just one person or if there could be more than one involved. Again, that reward is $125,000. It has continued to go up. The age range of the victims has gone from 21 years old to 54 years old, and 5 of the killings have occurred within about a 3-mile radius of one another. So those are definitely pieces of information to keep in mind. And continue, like I said, I can't stress this enough, especially if you're in the California area. Keep watching this video. I think that this video, as well as the ballistics and all that other that they're gathering up, this is going to show somebody, this video is someone's going to see this guy walking and they're going to say, that's someone I might know. So that's going to be, I think, really big and really key. So that's it for today. I wanted to make sure to get this one out. It's kind of been a busy weekend. But again, I've been studying a lot up. I've been doing a lot of deep diving into this serial killer. And I'm still going to continue doing that as I cover some other cases. And again, if you have any missing person posters you would like me to put on the channel, please send me an email. That email is always in the information of every single video. And with that said and done, I want to thank you guys for watching the video and checking out the channel. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and hit subscribe. And I really do appreciate you all. And with that said and done, have a great one. And most of all, stay safe.